Welcome back to This Bus and Us. Last time we left you, we were tearing apart our floor. We had pulled out our carpet and we felt some spongy, like right here. And it's warped. So this is what we have discovered, that this is all rotten away. You can see all down into the wheel well here. And in a previous video, I talked about some water. It's coming in from here somewhere and down into there. So that would explain a bunch of that rust that we had discovered way earlier on in that fuse panel. And as we cut back, we found some more rust, and we got all the way here, where you can see this is in very good shape. This is actually the factory paint and floor, which is from 1976 or 78. And it's in excellent shape. So we're going to cut this out from here all the way over. As you can see, the water damage. I can just pull this out with my hand. And here's the warping. So that's what we'll do. We'll start cutting this. Okay, I'm using this type of saw because, as you can see, I don't want to cut any of these lines. And even though they should be down far enough, and if you drop through, as you can see, and that's probably a fuel line or something. What's also interesting too is this is, look at that, eh? It's just like a bladder of some sort. So the material's held up all these years. And I think that's down here. Well, that one's harder. Okay, we're gonna cut this out along the seams, and then we'll pry it up with the pry bars. There's these big rivet head screws here. Eventually, it's like extracting a tooth. I'm trying not to cut into anything like this, which I don't know what they are at the moment. This is so much damage because the AC compressor condenser was here and all the controls for the driver were there, so you can see as it leaked, and that's kind of what that white stuff is. I'm going to come up and down in here. Some of these hoses, I believe this one, these are all for the air conditioner, or the old over-the-road air conditioner that is no longer here. Take anybody with any kind of knowledge to see the difference between the metals here. This is obviously good, so that's why we're cutting the floor out to here, and this is the point where we're going to stop. We're going to fix everything forward. We're going to have to bend some of this stuff back up. It looks like something has been done in the past. I don't know if that's factory, but anyway, we'll keep cutting the rest of this floor out and we'll come back when it's done. All right, we got the floor ripped out to the point of where we can start to clean it up and pull out some metal and figure out the damage. But as you can see, a lot of this damage here, water you'll be able to get in. That's the fuel door. This is the fuel tank. It goes all the way back over to that side, right there. And this side is where the air conditioner and the air condenser was. So we have some rotten metal there. So that door is open to the elements all the time because it was ventilating. We're gonna have to keep that door for our future air conditioning system or a generator as well. So definitely there. And then according to, well, I don't know if I'm allowed to say the magazines or the websites that I use, but I will. Bus Nuts and Bus Nut Magazine Online is another wicked one. And they claim that these windows leak in these A-frames somewhere down in there. And that would be what was causing my problem because it's right here as well. So I'm going to take all this stuff off. This is kind of cool because this is the old safety flare kit. Hope I can use sticks. Look at this. "15-minute red flare." So I'm going to take this kit off and we're going to figure out what's going on here. I did see some moisture, and it does look like water lines somewhere in here. So we're going to figure out what's going on with this window. Where that water's coming from. So we might have to cut this floor back a wee bit more. I'm hoping we're good. Because as you can see, there's a floor seam right there, but we're gonna have to definitely do something there. Here is what's noticeable too, is how the factory actually did this. So it has the longevity that it did. It's a tar coating onto aluminum with another tar coating onto what I assume is a marine grade plywood. I'm not sure, it might be a fur or something. So here we are. I'm gonna do a whole pile of cleanup, vacuum up all this crap, and we will come back on our next one now, I guess, when we are starting to fix this damage. Well, let's go on a water discovery, because this bus and us is about the internet viewer. And me. You know what? I'm gonna let those just fall away because I don't think we're gonna put these panels back up. I'm gonna pull these all off here. You can see that white on there. Oh, you You can hear it. Oh yeah. Oh boy. Age of Discovery. Okay, well, we have rust on top of this carpet here. Okay, out of these MCIs, they like to leak out of these A-frame windows. You can see there, it's coming all down. Assisted in this getting rusted out, and on that side. They also like to leak in the front. Because the window seals go. And as you can see, get up in there. There is rust. And that rust extends along there, which isn't crucial, but there we definitely need some attention. Always surprise. Well, I want to do a bit of an introduction on this video today because I don't think you really have. I just kind of started this channel with no real reason or explanation. So this Bus and Us is essentially about me and the internet viewer on our journey of putting this thing back together, and kind of our family as well. So I'm kind of new to this, or very new to this bus thing, but as far as all this mechanics and all the rebuilding of this thing, I got pretty much a handle on. I've been doing stuff like this for a better part of my life. I've been involved in trucks, snowmobiles, dirt biking, fixing them up and working on them pretty much for a better part of 20 years or so, at least. So I want to talk about that because, you know, I've been working on my fridge, and on the videos I was working on the axle, and then we started pulling this all apart. You want to get too many things pulled apart where you get buried in the project and you'll never get to put the bus on the road and enjoy it, because driving the thing is essentially what you want to do. So I wanted to figure out what was going on with my floor and stuff while I was waiting for parts. And then we discovered some of this rust. So, you know, now you got to start categorizing how you want to approach things. The rust issue up in the front dash definitely needs to be taken care of, but I would like to put this floor back together, put the wheels all back on, and get the bearings done so the bus mechanically runs up and down the road, so we can maybe take it, especially that front stuff. I want to take it to my friend's shop over there, and we can pull it in and out of his bays while we have logging trucks in there that he works on all the time. So logging, everything you do, and dates and times. I've started this on my logbook of what I've been doing to the bus, and my plans, drawing out of, you know, how I'm going to put in the heat pump, where all my electrical is going to go for the coach, and where new airlines and whatnot might be added for the airbags, and some new switches up in the front. Also, you got to make sure that you have a manual, maintenance manual, parts manual, whatnot. They're all available online. So is most of the information for these buses available online. But what I'd like to do is start, you know, a community for bus ownership, that there's kind of maintenance areas across the country for people such as myself and you who own these things. I here would like to do that. I have some property that I'm clearing where this bus will be sitting there, and you can rent it on a weekend basis, or you can bring your bus here and I'll fix it up for you. There's other people doing stuff like this on other channels, and I think it would be neat to spread that across kind of North America, where when you're out there touring, you know that you have a couple places you can stop, whether it's you need an airbag replaced or something pretty serious done, or maybe just an oil change, and have somebody go over it, and friendly place to stay, nice area. that type of thing. Other than that, that's kind of what I'm going to do. I'm going to, you know, continue putting things together and documenting it and getting the thing mechanically sound so we can move it about to do such things as, like I said, that rust on the front window, or maybe a couple other things. I mean, there's never going to be any end of surprise that they're going to come up. It's just like owning a home or purchasing a used home, of what you're going to find and not find. So for me, if I get confused, I study it and I ask a lot of questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. If I was to take this to a shop, it'd be $10,000 plus. And it's not a lot of money and material, but it is a goddamn lot of time of finicky work. Sanding things, cleaning things. And do you want to pay somebody big bucks to do that? I don't really think so. You put the money where it should be. I'm going to help. I have somebody that's going to assist me with that dash, because that starts to get a bit complicated for me. And when I mean complicated, yeah, it's kind of complicated. There's some things in there that I don't quite understand. And why should I not be afraid to admit that? When you don't understand things, you need to ask questions so you understand things and get them done. I have a friend, and you can call them a resource that will help you. And you should use your resources if you purchase something like this. Hey, this is a bus on a locomotive engineer's wages. I'm not a rock star that can just pull over and have this thing fixed, or who cares, and rent another one, right? So with that being said, if you want to get into this type of hobby, you should buy manuals and ask a lot of questions and look into it. And, you know, if you need to find a good mechanic or other people that can help you along your way with the project. If you break down in one of these on the side of the road, there's some awesome websites out there. A couple in particular, I don't know if I'm allowed to name them, that I use all the time. But with that being said, there's a lot, there's so much information in those sites, it can be hard to decipher through them or to find the correct information you're looking at. I mean, these guys are incredible at the amount of information out there. So, well, my daughter has joined me now for this video. So what I was talking about earlier with the archives and looking on the websites is there's so much information out there. Can be daunting to get through it. So part of this Bussin' Us, like to make video upon request of maybe, you know, how I'm going to do the floor, or, you know, when my heaters come in, everything that we're going to do about it, we're going to post anyways. And it kind of assist people that way. You know, it's pretty hard to dig through an archive. Sometimes it's easier to watch a video on something. I think it is to learn. Yeah. Well, I paused for a second and Asia joined us. You probably recognize her from the website Photograph. So what I was talking about the archives is so much awesome information in there, but they can be hard to decipher through. So part of this Bussin' Us would be to make videos upon request of certain projects that you may have, or a video log of how... Sorry. Well, we took a pause because Asia, my daughter, joined us, and she is on the website. We took a pause because Asia joined us. You might recognize her from the photograph on the website. We took a break because Asia joined me, and you might recognize her from the photograph on the YouTube website. So we're talking about the archives, and just, I like videos sometimes to help learn. I mean, sometimes reading is great. Sometimes. Asia joined me. My daughter, you might recognize her on the website YouTube channel homepage. So we're talking about the archives, and I would like to do videos upon request.
It's called your profile picture.
Oh, it's my profile. Asia, my daughter, joined us. You might recognize her from our profile picture on our YouTube site. So we're talking about the archives and how much awesome information in there is. It can be hard to decipher. So part of this channel, I would be liking. Is liking a word?
Yeah.
Liking, and maybe we should look that up in the dictionary.
You're gonna waste your storage.
Asia, my daughter, joined us. You might recognize her from the profile page. So we're talking about the archives of a couple awesome internet sites. that are kind of hard to decipher through at times. And part of this channel is I'd like to make videos upon request for certain repairs. Okay, so if you bought a bus or you want to buy one and this has all been changed and it's, you know, got blocked off access for some reason to that panel, there's another way you can get in there and have a look. Is if you just pop this front cover off. Very easily. And then there's another access panel right in here. You open them down in there in the snow, come up here. You can pop this cover off. And now you can get in and see where that rust is up in there as well. So that's an idea if you're looking at buying an MCI 5. You want to look to see if there's the rusted out dash, because that's a common thing. There's another way you can do it if those front panels are blocking your access in the stairwell.